The New York Post wrote this story about a survey. Here it is. So much for happily ever after. A new survey has found a shockingly large number of blissful brides turn into desperate wives. If given a chance to do things over, more than half of 3,000 married women surveyed by Women's Day magazine and AOL were not sure they would marry their husband again, with more than a third saying they would definitely not pick the same spouse. By the way, can I tell you why that is? Can I tell you, ladies, why this is? Because you ladies are so hell-bent on getting married. I call it casting a play. You've written a script for your life, and you're trying to, through auditions, you're trying to fill the role of husband. When you find somebody who looks the part, bam! You just swoop right down on them and scoop them up and marry them. Without embarrassing any of the people involved, I can't tell you how many women I know who stopped dating me because they said they could tell I was not marriage material or I was not going to get married. Then they get into long-term relationships or marriages that have since disintegrated. I've been in touch with these ladies. Actually, they've been in touch with me because they've got the same phone number I've had for like 8 years. They've been in touch with me recently. You see that? I mean, like, these women were dating me, and we were having, by the way, in each case, I have to say we're having a good time. In each of these cases, we're having a good time. And this is more than one, so anyone who thinks this is specifically about them, it's not. It's about several different women over the course of time. And they call me up and they say, well, it's a hard phone call to make, but, or some variation of that. It's a hard phone call to make, but I've met somebody, and he's fantastic, and he rocks my world, and he got me a ring, and so we're getting married, and I didn't want to just, like, leave you in the lurch there. I didn't want you to think I just disappeared, so I wanted to call you and let you know. I probably won't be able to call you anymore, and you know what? Please don't call me because I don't want you to, one of those calls. Ever get that call? And you know what I do when I get those calls? Ladies, I hate to say it to you. When I get those calls from the women who were like dating several different people and then jumped in with one of them, I start the stopwatch. Not literally. I have like a mental stopwatch. I know you'll be calling me one day. I know it. I know the call is coming. Especially here in Southern California where 2/3 of all marriages end in divorce. I know you'll be calling me again. I never, ever try to talk. By the way, I've had at least one woman, and I think there's more than one, who made this call to me to tell me that they wanted me to know they were getting married, or they just wanted to let me know, or they just wanted to give me a heads up, or they didn't want me to find it out some other way. I really do believe that at least some of these women wanted me to say, no, don't marry him, marry me. But I don't. Usually I say the same thing. That is fantastic. Absolutely fabulous. I am so happy for you. I'm sure he's the one, and you're going to be happy forever and ever and ever, and it's just going to be fantabulous. Best of luck to both of you. Tell him what a lucky man he is. You can tell him I said so. There are women I've had that conversation with who then called me months or years later. Oh, Tom, yeah, it's me, Jennifer, and I wanted to give you my new number now. I have a new number. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And during the holiday season is when most of those calls were coming in. The holiday season is when they all check in. Fantastic. Just love it. So, you know, there's a lot of women out there who are so anxious to get married. Why would half of these women not be sure they would marry their husband again? Why would more than a third say they would definitely not pick the same guy? Because women are so obsessed with getting married, they don't care who they marry. They don't care what the character of the person is or what the guy's habits are. They don't care about whether he's good in the sack. They just need to get married. They have a date in mind. They have a time in mind. They have a fertility schedule in mind. They have something going on. They got to get married at this time. And it's like musical chairs. You know, they stop playing the music and everybody sits down. I mean, it's like that. Whoever it is, you're dating at the time. If he says, I love you, if he looks at you the right way, tag, you're it. Of course there's a lot of women out there. I know I'm talking to some of you right now. I know there's women out there who cannot wait to get married, so they just marry whoever they're dating. Some of you want to teach a lesson to guys like me who give no appearance of having any interest in getting married. Some of you love making that call to me. Well, I hate to tell you this. This is hard call to make, Tom, but I'm getting married. Yeah. Ladies, you don't have to worry about it. If you're getting married, I am thrilled for you. Good luck. That's great. You've got my number. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to be one of those SoCal guys who calls every 6 months to ask you how married life is going. I know that eventually, when it's all over, you'll dial me up. You will. Oh, yeah. No, I've had quite the variety of women. I've had the women who, I've had the women in show business who wanted to be open to have sex with their manager, agent, people they might work with, producers or whatever, and they didn't want to appear to be locked into a relationship. So they ended the relationship figuring that, you know, now they'll look totally available and they'll get a lot more work. I've had women like that. I've had women who are looking to have a baby. Now, most of them don't end up having a baby because they end up being with somebody who's inadequate in some way or abusive or difficult or, you know, he had it shot off during the war or something. Yeah. And women like that. I've had women who, you know, let me give you the example. I know that more than one woman I've been with, we just had a great time together. We were always having a great time together. There was nothing wrong with it. It was great every time. Every time. We didn't spend a lot of money. Of course, you know me. We didn't spend a lot of money. Anything we did, just drive around the car, staying out late, boozing, hanging out together, having sex all day, whatever it was all good. But it didn't fit the script. They had to get married. So they go get married to somebody else. Or they go move in with somebody else. Well, he loves me, and you're just fun to hang out with and all that, but it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Well, where does it have to go? Here we are having a great time. It's not like the old days when you needed to be supported. You have a job, I have a job, you have a place to live, I have a place to live. You have money, I have money. You do not need to get married. You do not need to live with me. You don't need to have babies with me. You know before you date me, I'm not going to have a baby. So if you're dating me, it must not be a big issue for you. And eventually, you end up saying, well, it was a hard call to make. You get married to the guy, and then, or you move in with him. And then later on, I get the follow-up phone call. A couple of years later, a couple of months later. Oh, Tom, he beat me. Can we go out and have a drink or something? Can you call me, please? No wonder this survey comes out and says that more than half the women are not sure they would marry the same guy again. That a third of them would definitely not marry the same guy again. Of course they wouldn't. Because women treat getting married like casting a play. They're going to find somebody to play the part of the husband, and they don't care if they get along or if the guy is right for them or the guy wants the same things they want or has the same values or shows a tendency to being violent or abusive or difficult or unpredictable. They don't worry about that stuff. They'll say things like, I'm 29, the biological time clock is ticking, and I need to get married, tag, you're it. Of course they're not happy with what they get under those circumstances. Thank God that I'm so happy living alone. It's the best defense. Nobody can ever guilt trip me into getting married or moving in with me. They can't do it. So, I must tell you, there are many women. I must tell you, there's a large number. We're in the double digits here. Women I have, wished the best of luck to, waved goodbye to, said, that is fantastic. You're getting married. That's great. Or, you're moving in, you have a boyfriend. That is great. Later on, the calls come in. Because the thing is, we were having such a good time, but it wasn't going anywhere. So you're going to get with a guy where it's going somewhere. Here's the thing. What's better? To get on a train that's sitting in the station, and there you are in the first-class dining car, you're eating pheasant, and you're drinking fine wines, you're drinking sauternes, whatever. You're just having this fantastic time, but the train is sitting in the station. There's food, there's drink, there's partying, there's a good party, and they're having a lot of fun. Then on the other track in the train station, there's a train that's leaving the station right now. Where is it going? Who knows? How long is the trip? No idea. Who's the engineer? Who cares? I just want to go somewhere. So you get off the train where you're having a really good time eating pheasant and drinking sauterne wine, and then you get on the other train. It's going who knows where, and you don't know how long the trip is going to take, and you don't know if it's dangerous, you don't know what it is, you just need to be going somewhere. You know that's going to end in disaster. You never know if that train's going to Camden, New Jersey, or you never know where it's going. You know Camden, New Jersey, right, Dean? Sure you do. Home of the Campbell Soup Company. Some of the poorest people in America. If they have a railroad station there, that's one scary place. I don't even have to go to know. And that's what a lot of women are like. They just need to be in a relationship that's going somewhere. They don't even care where it's going. It just has to go somewhere. So meeting up with me and going out to drink and going out and sitting in my hot tub and drinking wine and having fun and sitting in front of the fire, well, it's fun, and we're just having a great time night after night after night, but it's just not going anywhere. So then they go somewhere with somebody else. And now you see the results in this survey. More than half of the married women surveyed said we're not sure they would marry the same guy again. More than a third said they would definitely not marry the same guy again. Says here, more than 3/4 of women said they fantasize about a man other than their husband. And 39% of the women surveyed admitted to constantly flirting with other guys. Constantly. The word constantly. 39% of the married women surveyed in this survey admitted to constantly flirting with other guys. That means, think about this, boys, 2 out of 5 women, 2 out of 5 married women are constantly flirting with other guys. Maybe your wife. Says here, 3/4 of the women also admitted keeping secrets from their husbands. Duh. For example, the crushes they have on celebrities. On the top of the fantasy list for women who like sexy married stars are actors Will Smith and Ben Affleck. They each received 31% of the vote. Nearly half of the women surveyed said they suspect their husbands of cheating or caught them in the act. And despite the fact that 39% of them are constantly flirting and a third of them would definitely not marry the same guy again, 84% said they would absolutely want to know if their spouse was being unfaithful. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, the story goes on. But, I mean, is any of this surprising to you? I mean, you're exactly right, Dee. Does that make you want to run right out and get married, knowing this about the average American wife? Is this really what you want to do with your life, is go out there and get married? Does this make you want to... If you are engaged to somebody right now, does this portend well for your future? This is what you're looking at. This is what you're coming up against. Holy crap. What do you think about all this?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Hey, Sassy, you're really cooking tonight.
I'm cooking with gas, baby.
Right on.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. And a word to our friends here in SoCal who are trying to make their way home, and it is difficult. There is a huge fire burning in Malibu right now. And I don't mean up in the hills. I mean right along PCH, baby. PCH and Malibu Canyon Road. 10 homes destroyed. Is that the deal? Not far from Pepperdine University. If you're trying to creep home up PCH, if you use Malibu Canyon Road or Las Virgenes or any of those things, it's going to be a long trip tonight. Wow, wow, wow. It's less than a mile from Pepperdine. And, of course, you know how it works. Expensive homes are threatened. So all the TV stations are covering this. You know, if lousy, crappy houses are threatened, they don't interrupt programming for this. They don't go into this continuous coverage mode. But expensive homes are threatened. And that's big news. These are expensive homes. Nobody injured. PCH closed now between Cross Creek Road and Canaan Doom Road. Oh, boy. That's bad. Malibu Canyon Road closed. Partially. Yikes. So, just letting you know. I mean, people in the other cities that listen to the show, they couldn't care less. But this is big, and you should know about it. So, now you know. Okay? Now you know. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Bonnie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello. How are you this evening?
Great.
Okay, so you got a great thing going, but the problem is most men in the older generation, say 40 and up, do not appreciate smart, independent women that have made their own wealth because they feel intimidated by them.
Oh, that's not true, dear. And I will tell you what the truth is if you'd like to know.
Sure.
All right. The truth is that we don't want to marry women who say they are independent. If you are independent, you do not need to be married.
Oh, but just try dating in the South. A man is so intimidated by a woman that actually...
It is not that men are intimidated. Men are not intimidated. First of all, most wealthy, successful, or really super intelligent women are not as attractive as other women.
I'm attractive.
We're not talking specifically about you. This isn't the Bonnie Show, dear. It's about, in general, women who make the most money and are the most successful, or the most intelligent. They have to be, because they're not attractive enough to get a man to pay their bills or take care of.
Or they didn't want a man to pay their bills.
No, dear. They say that in order to justify the situation.
No.
But the reality is these women were beaten with the ugly stick at a young age, and so they went to college, got the extra degrees.
Is that why you're on radio?
What's that?
Is that why you're on radio?
Oh, absolutely. And I've admitted that freely. See, at least I'm honest about myself, so I can be honest about you and those of your ilk. Okay, most women who are well-educated, and every year, dear, it's not just about the fact that it's in the South. If you look every year, and we point this out every year, and you may be new to the show, but every year, Fortune magazine, I cite this all the time, and you can look it up on the web. Fortune magazine has an article. It's like a yearly piece called the Power 50. And it talks about the 50 most powerful women in American industry. And they show photographs of them. And the vast majority of these women were beaten with the ugly stick. Those are the most successful women in business. That's why they are successful in business. Because they had to be successful at business.
But, no, they don't. I mean, just because you're successful in business doesn't mean you're ugly.
Dear, I didn't say that there aren't any attractive women. I said that generally the most successful women are ugly, or fat, or old, or all three.
Yeah, but then the ones that are successful, independent, outgoing, athletic, good-looking...
Dear, that's a very small number of women. Really, the number of very successful, very attractive, very intelligent women. The number of women who have all of those attributes is a very small number. I will tell you right now, dear. Let me tell you something about me right now, okay? And I've lived around the country. Talk about the South. I lived in Florida. I have lived around. I lived in the Southwest. I lived in Phoenix. So I have moved around here. And
live in the South, where you've got your...
Nothing is further south than Florida except water, okay? I was as south as you get.
Have you ever been to Texas?
Yes, I have, many times.
Hey.
I've spent a lot of time in Dallas, dear. And
I'm not talking Dallas. I'm talking Fort Worth and the western part of Texas.
Dear, Fort Worth is 10 miles from Dallas. Not that far away.
Okay.
Okay? Same area. Same metropolitan area. That's like people saying, oh, you were in L.A., but you've never been to Anaheim. Well, sure I have. It's the same metropolitan area. All right? The bottom line here, dear, is that, look, for me, what I would love to meet a woman who's a 9 or a 10, who has her own money, her own business, her own house, and if we ever travel anywhere, she whips out the platinum card and pays her half. I would love it. And if she were smart as a tack and still liked having sex and didn't want to move into my place and didn't want my stuff and didn't want to get married and didn't want a commitment, oh, my goodness, oh, happy day. I would be so happy to find that. There just isn't that much of it out there.
No, there's very few of us. Very few.
That's my point. I'm not intimidated by it. I'd give anything to find women like that. Since I can't find them, I'll take them young and hot.
But most of them are highly intimidated.
I don't agree with you, dear. I think that is what you tell yourself. I also believe many very successful people financially are socially inept. Men and women. Many. That's why they use dating services and matchmakers. They're generally suspicious of people. They generally don't know how to socialize. The people who know how to socialize are people who have no money and nothing to lose. They're out socializing all the time.
Exactly.
But I do not believe that wealthy, successful people are intimidated by anything.
Okay.
And I say this as a wealthy, successful individual.
But you only want the 9 or the 10.
That's my point.
Okay.
Because the 9s and the 10s, let's face it, there's very few 9s and 10s who are also financially successful or intelligent. They don't have to be.
Got it?
Does that make sense?
Very male chauvinistic attitude.
Here, it's a realistic attitude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So why pigeonhole it as male chauvinistic? That's the way of the world.
It is.
And since that's the way of the
your younger listeners understand that.
What do you mean?
These ones that come on just fresh out of college have got all these great ideas. You know, keep them going. Because as a woman, they got a real tough road to haul.
No, they don't. If they have money, you'd be amazed how many women are interested.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's still tough. It's because you're living in a man's world.
Dear.
And no matter which way you look at
it. That's an excuse. Oprah Winfrey is in a man's world and she makes $150 million a year. You know, this is ridiculous. It's a man's world because it's a world where you have to show up at the office from 9 to 5 or 8:30 to 4:30 every single day.
No, I don't. I run my own business. I show up to work and do my job.
Well, the vast majority of us have a boss. The vast majority of us have a boss. The vast majority of us work for a company, and we have a boss. Okay? We have to show up at the office at a certain time. And those who are not willing to do that, unless they own a business, and let's face it, 80% of all new businesses fail. So there's not a lot of people who successfully do what you're doing. The vast majority of people have to show up at the office. And the vast majority of women don't like the idea of having to be told what time to be there and what time they can leave. They want to be able to leave when they want to leave. They want to leave when the kids are getting out of school. They want to leave because they want to take a mental health day or whatever. There's a reason very few women are as successful as you are.
Yeah, and I had to do it with just one child, and I did it, and that child's
yeah, but see, you agree with me more. You agree with me, but you see, as much as you called in to disagree, you agree with me more than you want to admit.
Okay.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
Maybe I can be one of your interns.
Oh, you can be one of my interns anytime, but we put you through a rigorous training.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Angela on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Is that a question or a statement?
I have a statement. I think that you're using your own opinions of yourself and your commitment issues as a way to justify, I feel like you're trying to justify your own commitment issues by using statistics and talking about all this crap that you've experienced in your life. And it's really offensive, and it's very one-sided. And
what are you so offended? Well, first of all, dear, it is one-sided because I'm expressing my opinion. I am not a journalist. I'm under no obligation to provide an opposing point of view. That's where you come in.
I understand that. However, how can you base all women on some stupid statistics?
I didn't use
your own commitment.
The statistic, if you would shut up, you would realize that the statistics do not say the words all or 100%, and neither did I.
I'm not saying that you're saying it's all.
That is what you said. That is exactly what you said.
Yeah, but you're making it sound that way with your own commitment issues.
Dear, if I had commitment issues, why would I have gotten married?
Because you're making it sound like all women, they just want to have fun. They don't care if men beat them. They're going to go out and marry them anyway. That is absolutely absurd.
Dear, that is your extrapolation. That is your extrapolation of a comment I made. That is not what I said.
It's you babbling on about something that is completely ridiculous.
What is ridiculous?
The fact that you were saying that women don't care. They're like, I'm 29. Now I need to get married.
Why do you think these statistics show that half of all women aren't sure they'd marry the same guy again? A third of all women definitely wouldn't marry the same guy again.
Because people make mistakes and everyone knows that.
And I was giving you the reason why they make mistakes. Because so many women are so hell-bent on getting married, they don't care who they marry.
In my experience of my life and what I've seen around the people around me, I don't know any woman that's going to marry some loser just because she wants to get married. If she has any...
They don't have to be losers. They can be people they don't have chemistry with. They can be people they don't have anything in common with. They can be people they don't have values in common with. They can be people who are abusive. They can be people who are jerks. They can be people who suck in bed. They can be all kinds of reasons. You're the one who's narrowing it down and saying it's all this and all that. And I never said that.
That is basically what you're saying.
No, that's basically what you're saying. I didn't say it. You are interpreting what I said.
You can leave it to interpretation, but basically what
you interpreted what I said. And then misquoted me in the process.
No, I didn't actually take a pen and write down everything that you said to quote you perfectly.
Well, I'm telling you, you misquoted me.
Okay, well, I apologize for misquoting you. However, I think that what you're saying is extremely offensive.
What is offensive?
You're implying.
Specifically, what is offensive?
That all women or a certain...
Now, again, you said that.
Even if you
said
use
that.
the word all women.
I didn't
that
use
is
or
what you are
imply.
implying.
No,
You
I'm not.
open this tirade.
I know what I was implying, and it was not that.
All women
You
are
don't know what you're talking about. You just have a big mouth, bitchy broad who wants to call in and flap your gums, and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Swab my gums and I'm some bitchy broad.
Yes, you're some bitchy broad flapping your gums. That's right.
Views of the world and not just basing my one-sided.
Well, now you have to curse on the air, and as you know, that's illegal. I would imagine a woman your age, as an adult, would know that saying that word on the air is illegal.
Well, excuse me.
Oh, no, excuse you, but when we get your name, when the FCC finds us, remember, the person who makes the comment gets the $325,000 fine. So you go ahead and talk like a sailor.
All I can say is I just think it's wrong that you're implying that all women are a certain
Again,
way.
you're repeating the same.
Offensive.
Do you have any other material?
No.
Okay,
Just the
good.
fact that I
Then
wanted
get
to say
lost!
something.
The Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Mariano, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom Leykis, I finally got through.
Here we are.
Hey, I had a question for you. I'm a new listener to your show, and I totally agree with you, believe in your philosophy full-heartedly. But there's one subject I wanted to ask you about, just to get your thoughts. It's not meant to be a debatable kind of thing. I just wanted to see what your thoughts were. And that was the issue of love. There always seems to be a guy that falls in love, and then everything kind of throws a wrench in it all, and it all falls apart. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I think love is overrated. I mean, love is wonderful, but most people confuse love and business. They think if they're in love with somebody, they need to give them their money or the key to their front door or put their name on their checking account and get little kitty cat checks and puppy dog checks. You know, those checks with little pictures of Winnie the Pooh on them and stuff, or Hello Kitty checks or whatever. You can love somebody without marrying them, living with them, committing to them. You can love them.
Gotcha. Hey, Tom?
Yeah.
I appreciate you giving me your input, and I just wanted to give my boy some props over there in the satellite office. He likes to listen to you. He's the one who turned me on to you. And I was wondering if you could take me out Kobe style.
Of course I can.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
It's Rhonda on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Rhonda.
Hi.
Hi.
I think you are awesome.
Thank you.
You hit the nail on the head every time.
Thank you very much.
And that's coming from a female.
Sounds good to me.
Well, if you're open-minded, you can take that advice and reverse it.
What advice?
Your advice?
How do you reverse it?
Well, a female can take the advice the same way a male can.
Oh, you know what? Anyone who wants to be successful can take that advice.
That's right. I mean, I've got a happy marriage going on, but I've been married 4 times, too.
There you go.
And about the third of the women that have made a mistake and would never marry the same guy again, I can relate to that.
You can.
I can relate to that. But I just wanted to tell you that I've got the dial set on 97.1, and I've ripped the knob off.
Good for you. Good for you.
And thanks for the show. Keep it going.
Rhonda, as you know, I do it as a public service. Our email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com. tom@blowmeuptom.com, or visit our website. Just go to blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.